What's up YouTube? I'm Mike and today I'm back with a new video. This is going to be kind of a diet video. It's also just kind of a rant video. I made a video that was actually informational that has been stuck trying to get approval for greater than 48 hours. But you'll notice the last video that I shot on D-Game, somehow that one went straight through the filter. The video I made about blood work, 48 hours in processing. The video game I made about the D-Game with a whole lot of graphic details about my wife's behavior, straight through the filter. But what should you expect when libtards are running YouTube? So what we're talking about today is not libtards, but something relatively similar. In fact, you could be a libtard and also a ketard. Now, what is a ketard? A ketard is a person who thinks that the keto diet is a good way to live your life. Spoiler alert, it's not. The keto diet is really only useful for one circumstance. That circumstance is that you failed to control your normal diet. A normal human diet, which is true of most omnivores, consists of protein, carbs, and fats. Protein, carbs, and fats. You need all three. And for most animals on this planet, I think, I actually don't know, don't quote me on that. For most humans on Earth, our bodies burn carbs. They convert carbs into glucose, which is then converted into ATP, also known as adenosine triphosphate. That is actually what fuels the human body. That is our source of fuel. Carbohydrates. The reason that people go on the keto diet is because they can't stop putting carbs in their face. They failed at conventional dieting, and so what they effectively did is that they figured out that they're carboholics. They're carboholics. They're people who cannot safely ingest carbohydrates without totally losing control and turning into fat, obese slobs. They can't do it. It's kind of like me for many, many years. I used to be an alcoholic. I could not go out with my wife and just have a couple of drinks. Anytime me and my wife went out and tried to have a couple of drinks, I would have 5 to 10 to 12 drinks, and then I would end up with damn near alcohol poisoning. This happened, I cannot tell you how many times in life. I cannot tell you how many times I've been to the hospital but with uncontrollable vomiting from excessive alcohol intake. I used to be an alcoholic. The reason that I say I used to be an alcoholic is because I succeeded in learning to control my alcoholism. Now I have absolutely no problem going out with my wife, having 1, 2, maybe 3, margaritas or mojitos or something, coming home and having no desire to continue to abuse the drug until the point that it sickens me. So now I am like a normal human being. I'm no longer an alcoholic. People who run the keto diet are effectively carboholics. These are people who have to nearly abstain from carbohydrates because they lack self-control. They can't do what most normal human beings do and just control their carbohydrate intake. Control all of their calorie intake. That's the thing. The thing that people continue to miss here is that the reason you're overweight is not because you ate too many carbs. The reason you're overweight is because you ate too many calories. Too many calories. That's the problem. It's always been the problem. Calories in, calories out is what controls your total body mass. If you eat more calories than you burn, you will gain weight. I don't care if that's 100% carbs, 100% fat, 100% protein. If you eat more calories than you burn, you will get fat 100%. There is no two ways about it. There's no getting around that. There's no avoiding it. So the reason that the keto diet can be effective for carboholics is because, for one, it's really hard to just sit around and shovel fat and just fat and meat into your face. If you look at the approved foods on the keto diet list, there's not a whole lot of things that people are real likely to binge eat on. See, you're not going to binge eat chicken breasts. That's why I've said countless times that one of the best things you can do when you're in a cut, if you're struggling with your hunger, is don't go get into the pantry and get carbohydrates. Keep chicken breasts. Every time you start to have a hunger craving, start eating plain raw chicken breasts, and I guarantee you, you will not overeat those. It's terrible. Nobody wants to eat it. And so, but it will satiate your hunger craving, and that's the key. The vast majority of things that you're going to find on the keto diet, eggs, nuts, cheese, avocados, meat and poultry, seafood, zucchini, these are not things that you're likely just going to go completely insane and start binge eating. And so because you don't binge eat, then you typically are going to intake fewer calories than you would if you went and got into the pastries and the ice cream and all of the low and high glycemic carbs. So that's step number one. The secondary factor is that when you are in ketosis, when you are burning fat as a source of fuel, it's a lot more, there's a lot more to it. The body has to do a lot to get the calories out of the fat. It's not really the way we're set up. And so because of this, the release of energy into the body comes at a much slower rate. So your blood sugar is going to be lower. You're not going to have the spikes and all of the things that you tend to get from eating high glycemic carbs, which is the reason that some people recommend this. So people will recommend it for diabetics. They'll recommend it for people who are morbidly obese, because it's a good way to help you control your weight. If you are a loser who cannot control your carboholism, if you are a loser who cannot stop shoveling carbohydrates into your face, then keto is an option for you. But understand that the keto diet is just proof positive that you don't have any self-control. If you had self-control, you would just limit your calories and you would continue to burn carbohydrates as a fuel source, because that is decidedly the best way to do it. If you have any desire to build large amounts of muscle onto your body in short periods of time, you are absolutely not going to do it on a keto diet. It is essential. If you type in, I can't remember if I've shot this video a couple times now, can you build muscle on keto? It says yes, you can build muscle on keto, but it's much more difficult because carbohydrates are essential to the building of muscle. So, there's studies that have been done where people have been able to build as much muscle on a keto diet as they did on a carb diet. But again, these are small amounts of muscle. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I would love to be proven wrong. Somebody bring me the data to prove me wrong. Who is the bodybuilder on the Olympia stage who built and maintained his physique on the keto diet? I almost guarantee you there's not one. I would love for you to point out the Olympic track star, speed skater, pro athlete that has to be strong and maintain a high level of endurance that is doing this on the keto diet. I'm sure, as always, there's going to be maybe there's that odd man out, but everyone on earth knows that the key to endurance is carbohydrates. The key to efficiently building muscle is carbohydrates. There's no getting around that. Well, there is getting around it. You can try to circumvent the right way, the best way of doing things with this keto diet. But the much better thing for you to do would be to just learn self-control. Like, I am a much happier human being now that I'm no longer an alcoholic. It is much better for me to go out and be able to have a drink without losing self-control. It is much better for me to be able to enjoy time with my wife or enjoy a party where there's mixed drinks or alcohol. I have a much higher quality of life when I can enjoy, like my wife and I were laying in bed last night, we were talking about this, and I was telling her, imagine what our lives would look like if we decided to go on the keto diet. Imagine what that would mean for the kids. So, like, if you bring back up keto diet, we were looking at it last night, and it had a list of all the things you can't eat on a keto diet. I mean, it's miserable. I cannot even fathom trying to live this way. Let's see, what to avoid on keto. Let's see if we get anything quickly we can use here. Prohibited foods on the keto diet are grains. No rice, no wheat, oats, barley, rye, quinoa, or buckwheat. No starchy vegetables, no potatoes, sweet potatoes, yams, corn, artichokes, no beans, chickpeas, or lentils, no bread, pasta, pastries, tortillas, or sandwiches. No snack foods, chips, crackers, pretzels, or packaged munchies. No fries, burgers, pizza, burritos, muffins, or sandwiches. No sugary drinks. No fruit. No fruit juice. No added sugar. No flavored sodas, soft drinks, mocktails, packaged drinks. No cans. No sodas. No cokes. No alcoholic drinks. No margarine or processed oils like canola, sunflower, or soybean. No vegetable shortening. No refrigerated doughs like rolls or biscuits. No non-dairy coffee creamer. You can't have barbecue sauce, ketchup, honey mustard, sweet chili sauce, teriyaki sauce. This is all of the crap that I would have to steer clear of if I was going to go onto a keto diet. Which means I could never go to a birthday party and have cake with my kids. Or if I was on the keto diet, my kids would basically have to be on the keto diet, because all of the meals that my wife would be cooking for both of us on keto would not work for the children. So we would either have to put our kids on keto, which is just insane to me. Like, the thought of depriving a child of all of the foods that I just mentioned, and I'm a person who doesn't even like to eat. It is absolutely nothing for me to cut my calories to sub 2,000 calories a day. I hate eating. But if I'm going to eat, I want to eat something that's on the list of things that I just mentioned. I love meat. I have no problem eating meat. What I really don't like is fat. I actually struggle to get enough fat in my diet. The only time I meet my fat requirements is if I'm eating a bunch of ice cream or like honey buns, so stuff like that. I'll get my fat calories to go up. I get a lot of fat when I eat pound cake, butter pound cake. I get my fats up. Generally, I struggle to get enough fat into my diet. And so to me, going on keto with my two kids would be like a form of child abuse. I would feel as bad for a child on keto as I used to feel for the little Jehovah's Witnesses kids back in the day when I was in school, and we'd have a Christmas party or a Valentine's party or somebody's birthday party, and we'd all get to have fun, and the little Jehovah's Witness kid would have to go out in the hall because he wasn't allowed to be a part of the parties because that was some kind of sin against God. I mean, this is how insane this is. So if you are a person who thinks that living your life this way is a good idea, then you are a Ketard. If a doctor came to me and said, Mike, look, here's the deal. You're pre-diabetic. If you keep ingesting, if you don't switch to keto, you are going to be dead in 10 years. I wouldn't even think twice about continuing to drink sodas every single day. I do not want to live a life that is miserable to live. There's no advantage to me in living longer and longer periods of time if the whole time that I'm living is miserable. That'd be like saying, hey, if you go outside again, well, you're going to be dead. I mean, it's completely ludicrous. I don't know how anyone can exist on this diet, but every single person who has ever recommended it to me was either fat when they recommended it to me or had been fat in the past. I have never in my life had somebody who was in great condition go, you know, I'm thinking about going on the keto diet. Why would you do that? It makes absolutely no sense when you can literally have your cake and eat it too if you just have the tiniest semblance of self-control. You can live a perfectly happy, healthy, functional life, enjoying your kid's birthday cake and ice cream, and not blow up into a 300-pound blimp. I promise you, I've been doing it my entire life. And as I mentioned in the previous video, my blood sugar problems have gone to 0 since I went back to drinking high fructose corn syrup, the other thing that is just supposed to be poisonous to the body. It is extremely hard for me to believe that fructose is poison to the body. What naturally grows in every fruit on the planet, I think the sugar in most all fruits is fructose. That's poison to your body. Notice that's the other thing you can't have any of when you're on the keto diet. No fruit. Nothing. So the keto diet basically means you can have absolutely no fun in life so that you can try to get yourself down from 300 plus pounds to a 160-pound bag of saggy skin. Because that's what you're going to get. All you people who are morbidly obese, y'all need to wake up. You're never going to look good, okay? You already effed yourself when you got up to 300 or 400 pounds. If you've ever been that fat in life, you are never going to look objectively good. You may get to a point where you look better than you did, but you're always going to be covered with a bunch of nasty, unsightly, saggy, wrinkly, ugly ass skin unless you go get a whole bunch of surgeries done after you lose all of this weight. And that's one of the things that you see on the 500-pound sisters or whatever, that 1,000-pound sisters, is every one of these people who have like these bariatric surgeries to lose 300, 400 pounds, and they think that's going to make them happy. What happens? They go from 300 pounds to 200 pounds, so they're still morbidly obese, and now they've just got all this nasty skin hanging all over the place. So the reality is, these people, honestly, I'm sorry, you know what I'm going to say, they just need to be put out to pasture. If you ever allowed yourself to get to 300 pounds, come on, dude. Just check out, okay? It's a wrap. It's over. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.